Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in Atlantico. But this match is going to be a little bit different. Now the Atlantico has earned a reputation for being an absolute brutal brawler and a bit pay to win, to be honest. The ship is stupid. It just is. And it's not necessarily the ship that's stupid. It's the commander that made the ship stupid. But I digress. And why do I say that? Well, I mean, honestly, the commander, you only get if you buy the ship. Right? If you get this ship out of a crate, you don't get the commander. It's funny how that works. Now, most people be looking at the Atlantico and then looking at the fact that we're on Greece and going, oh my god, you basically spawn in secondary range. And you'd be correct. Except the way my team plays and the way the enemy team plays is not conducive to Atlantico secondary brawling. So I guess we're just going to have to showcase whether or not the Atlantico is still effective, even if it doesn't get to use those secondaries all that much. What do you guys think? Even without the secondaries, can the Atlantico be a problem? Well, by the end of this video, I think you're going to figure out that, yeah, the Atlantico is still a problem. But initially, I wanted to move forward here. Why? Because, again, getting within secondary range is, or should be, one of your #1 priorities in the Atlantico when you have the busted commander. And because of your busted commander, your secondary range is absolutely absurd. And these secondaries can fire all the way to the moon, meaning that these islands don't really mean this thing can still hurt you with the secondaries, even over the islands. But this is one of those perfect opportunities to take a shot on somebody through the window because they're not paying attention, and we absolutely clobbered the man. This is why you have to pay attention, folks. All these little gaps in islands, they're not there by accident. All right? Believe it or not, I know it's kind of weird. There are people at Wargaming whose sole purpose it is to come up with these little gaps and stuff in islands. It's called map design. And a well-designed map, and I know you guys are probably like, well, Greece isn't a well-designed map. Bullshit. Greece is a very well-designed map compared to some out there. I like Greece a lot. Not just because it's Greece and I'm a, you know, what is it, self-proclaimed Spartan, or, I don't know. I don't know what the word I'm thinking of. There's a word, it exists, I can't think of it. But either way, this Rook thinks that he wants to brawl. I'm going to show him why that's a terrible idea. Wait for it. Boop. There goes half your hit points. And now, the teammates are going to slap you, and my secondaries are going to slap you. Welcome to the Cheshire. That's the beauty of the Atlantico. The Atlantico's threat isn't the little guns that it shoots at you. It's the 2 Cheshires that are strapped to either side of the ship. 234mm secondary batteries. That is absurd. But not to be outdone, we see a little cruiser thinking he's safe over there behind his little island taking pot shots at me. He's not, in fact, safe as we hit him for 5 hits. These are the little things that you have to be able to do. Now, you can see on the left flank that we do have a battleship and a cruiser over there. Their entire enemy team has been trying to shoot me for the entire game, and I can't really blame them. I'm in an Atlantico. But given the fact that we're at such range, I don't mind putting out a single fire. It's always a danger to do in the Atlantico because one of the biggest downfalls of the Atlantico is that it doesn't get a perk with fight fire with fire. Meaning that if I get set on multiple fires, there's no hope for me. Reason being, fight fire with fire is a twofold thing. First of all, everybody knows the skill takes, and if you get 3 fires while you're on damage control cooldown, then it will automatically trigger a damage control that removes all damage over time, flooding and fires both, right? However, it also reduces the amount of fire damage taken. Okay? And so what that does is inadvertently, it makes the Atlantico very, very squishy to fires. Very squishy. So you have to be very, very aware of what you are doing and who you were fighting, and going toe-to-toe with a lot of fire spammers. Not an ideal situation in the Atlantico. However, as we've already demonstrated, not only can this thing brawl, but it's fully capable of, fighting long-distance fights as well. It's got a lot of guns, and they're relatively accurate. And that's the crazy part about this. This thing has one of the dumbest hybrid builds you will ever see. A lot of people talk about the hybrid build for the German commander with Henry Hyde and all that stuff. Yeah, those are cute. But the hybrid build for this thing is absurd. Not only do you get extremely long-range guns, which are decently accurate, you also get extremely long-range secondaries, which are pinpoint accurate. It's a complete raffle stomp of a ship when in the right situation. Now, we have unfortunately not been in the right situation for the Atlantico, and yet here we are, still absolutely dominating the enemy team, even when they decide that they don't want to engage me directly. Like, they want to be a standoff team. I mean, look at this. Every one of these guys are going, well, it's just an Atlantico, he's at range. No, you're still going to get slapped around. You can't just sit there broadside thinking that you can, and I gotta give him credit for shooting AP out of the hipper here. Dude actually switching ammo types, I love it. We're not gonna talk about these two still hiding behind this island. There's literally 2 ships over here. They ain't had to fight nobody, because they've all been shooting me, and these guys are still hiding. But yeah, don't worry, I'm here to bail you out, right? But as we push around the corner, we know that the hipper is here. We've already slapped him. We know that the Veneto, I believe is... I apologize, had a yawn. It is 5 o'clock in the morning, so I apologize. Zeton and the Veneto over here. I knew there was another battleship, just couldn't think of what it was. But the Zeton, also a prolific brawler. Love the Zeton. All the German battle carriers, battle cruisers, are absurd. Ouch. That was Veneto, by the way. Tell me the last time you got that many shells from an Italian battleship that wasn't Cristoforo Colombo at range. Doesn't happen for me. Heck, I'm lucky if I can hit any shells from an Italian battleship not named Cristoforo Colombo at point blank. But as we start to get the secondaries involved on this Zeton, it's one of the few times we get to see just how stupid these secondaries truly are. And this is against a brawling battle cruiser, right? You can see his secondaries also very accurate, but the difference between the two of us is my secondaries, when they hit, are doing anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 damage plus setting fires. And then, of course, I've got a whole bunch of guns to shoot at you. I believe it's 10 guns to be specific. So it's essentially, this would essentially be like an Amagi that has stupid long-range secondaries that hurt a lot, right? And in this short amount of time that we've had our secondaries actually going, I don't know exactly how much damage we got out of them, but it's been not insignificant. And of course we got the hits with the main guns as well. Anal gets the kill because, of course, he has secondaries, and his secondaries fire a little bit faster than mine because they're smaller. He's got a bunch of 100, I think it's 100 mil, and then maybe it's 105s, and then the 152s. The Germans usually have like 100s or 105s, I can't remember, and then the 152s. The 100s are the ones that set the fires, the 152s are the ones that hurt. But there's still no match for 234s. Right? It's pretty absurd. Pretty absurd to have that big of a gun as a secondary armament. It's what, like something that I would build in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. That is what this thing essentially is. But here's another beautiful look at a potential shot through a window. These windows, this is what they're for. Why more people don't utilize these windows is beyond me. It's like people just don't think they can shoot through them. Now, obviously, the front guns didn't make it through, but the rear guns did. Unfortunately, we didn't hit him this time because he did turn away. As you can see, he's now angled away from us. But utilizing these islands like this is something that more people need to do more often. And we've showcased this thing in every capacity during this match. We've shown the long-range sniping, we've shown the close-range brawling. There's really not a downside, and that looks very accurate. All horizontal, tight grouping, and we Citadel the Veneto, but of course in true Spartan fashion, we've got to leave them with just enough to get away every time. But 160,000 damage, not a single kill, 4 fisting ribbons, showcasing that we were very instrumental in getting rid of enemy ships, even if we didn't get it. We got a high cal Confederate, top of the leaderboard, 2,656 XP. One of the higher XP games that I've had out of the Atlantico, because secondary damage doesn't give you as much XP as your primaries do. So one of those few times where the Atlantico gets quite a bit of extra XP. And we didn't capture a base, we didn't do anything crazy, so I think it was a pretty solid example of just how nasty Atlantico can be at any range, and you don't always have to get the secondaries involved. Sometimes you got to keep your distance and, you know, just dance all over the enemy. They think that they're being slick. They're not. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.